What does a guy like Matthew add to your group? He told us he laid out an offensive lineman today, so I assume there's some toughness there. But how does he complement an already pretty experienced group?
He definitely adds depth. He adds competition to the room. He's a guy that he loves football, so he cares a lot. He's out here early in the morning every day working out by himself. Every time I walk through the building, he's here, he's studying. So, he's adding some depth competition, but he's also pushing those guys because, Matt, he's here to come get a spot. So, but he's really good for the room, and the guys love him. But just his mentality, his confidence, so we love it.
What is the competition like right now for what seems like there would be snaps available for guys to go take?
Just trying to figure out who's the starters. There's competition with who will be the third and fourth corner. Like, it's really all across the board. We have some guys, especially like Darian Porter, Miles Purchase, as well as Jontez Williams, who's done a great job up until this point throughout camp. Those guys are pushing to be the starters. Then you have Matt and Ryan Robinson, who also is doing a really good job in camp. Ryan, he's a savvy corner that is doing a good job, so pushing who's the 3 and 4. And then when we go into our speed package, Ryan Robinson, he has some experience as a nickel at LSU. So then there's that competition there with him and Miles Purchase at the nickel position. So it's a good situation to be in where we have some guys with some experience, but guys who are pushing each other.
Three guys you mentioned for starters are the three guys that played the most. Is that not on accident, I would imagine, not by coincidence?
Could you rephrase?
The three guys, Darian, Miles, and
John Tez.
As starters. The fact that they played a lot, how much does that set them up for being ready?
I mean, it sets them up a lot. I mean, especially with our defense, it could be complicated with all the adjustments, the rules, and different things based off of the different looks that we get. And those guys have played a lot of snaps. And John Tez is this will be his third year in the system. Played some meaningful snaps last year, not as much as Miles Purchase, but I would say Tez is a complete player. He can set the front. He can communicate with the linebackers, the safeties. He's physical. He's a good tackler, and he's really a good cover guy. So, when you add that to the game and being able to see the different looks that you get, and you can play fast. So those guys just have a lot of experience, and just it's still early in camp, so those other guys are continuing to understand the defense and what we're asking them to do. This is a different type of defense, so we're asking our guys to get in the fits, which it may be a little different from what they may have experienced at the other teams that they played for. So just getting them up to speed, but I think those guys have done a great job up until this point just with how they work and prepare.
Matthew came to you guys, I think he just played 8 JUCO games a year ago, and wasn't he relatively new to the game of football too before that? Was he like a track or basketball guy before that?
I'm not aware of that.
I was just wondering, I was curious with, coming to you guys with just the one season of JUCO ball, how do you kind of slow the game down for him? Or, what do you kind of preach to him if he gets beat on a play? How does he kind of, keep that even keel about him?
Well, Matt loves football and he cares. So, just like I was saying, Matt, he's going to – now, he is a guy, because he cares so much and he wants to perfect, that's why he's always around here, where sometimes it can get to him because he wants to be right and he wants to know everything right now. But just continuing to just keep him grounded and let him know, hey, just continue to get better. Everything will come at some point. But also Matt, the junior college that he attended, one of my old teammates, Drew Coleman, was his defensive coordinator. So I had got a lot of information through one of my friends about him. So I already was aware of his work ethic, and I was already aware of how football was important to him. So, and he's every bit of that since he's been here.
He kind of talked to us about, Matthew did, about maybe struggling with the mental side of putting a bad play behind him and trying to just get level more consistently here. And Coach Campbell has him working with a sports psychiatrist. As a former successful defensive back like yourself, what kind of strategies or tips have you kind of worked with him on just remaining level and not letting a great play get too high or a bad play lead to him getting too low?
Well, and he's working on that because I'm sure he probably talked to you guys about that, and he wanted to continue to, because we have a lot of resources here, and those resources will allow those guys to be able to work through those different issues mentally. We have other guys in our room who's took those same steps. But I always come from, I come to Matt just through my own personal experiences. And, you know, for me, I try to just continue to work, continue to study. And then when you have a coach that is telling you that I'm not worried about the big play or the mistakes right now, I just want to see progression. I just want to see you be able to work on whatever it was that you didn't understand or whatever it is trying to defend the ball. Let's see the progression. Let's see how you was able to transition and work on that and make it better instead of just continue to focus on that one play.
He indicated that a lot of the things he learned while he was in JUCO are different technique-wise than what you guys are teaching here. What's it like for you to kind of have to coach the opposite, I think is what he kind of said, for what you guys are kind of teaching him here?
It's not hard at all because you're going to always have that. Everybody's different, but just I always want to see where guys are and see what their strengths and weaknesses are. I don't like to change a guy completely because I want them to play within who they are and play within their comfort level and play to their strengths, and then try to tweak things, especially like when they're first getting here. I'll see what works and then tweak it, but if that's something that he's comfortable with and is working, I'm not going to try to change too much. Whereas some guys, they'll say, hey, look, this is how it is, this is how you got to play, and if not, we can't use you. So I try to go a different route. But it's just some things that he had to continue to work on, and I think with his work ethic, he'll be able to get it down.
And one more just for me. You talked about Ryan Robinson and what he's kind of added, but what have you seen from Quentin Taylor or David Coffey, two kids who have come in as freshmen, and what kind of depth do you feel like they provide you?
Well, I can only really go off of the spring with Quentin because he's been hurt. But you could tell he's come from a program where they did a good job with teaching him the technique and fundamentals from the cornerback position. He came with a lot of confidence, could play corner or safety. So I'm excited for him. We just got to get him healthy. Who was the other one you asked about?
David would have come in as well from Chicago.
Oh, well, David, he's young. This is a fairly new position. Although he played some corner, he played a lot of offense. So just everything that we talk about is very new to him. Just teaching him how to practice, teaching him how to prepare, come up, do extra studies, meetings with coaches just to get him up to speed. But I like where he is right now. Just his progression is not too much, not too small, but I think he's right where he needs to be with what I need for right now. It's a good thing that we have some older guys that he can look up to. He definitely, John Tez Williams has done a great job of bringing some of those younger guys along. So that's worked out a lot. I have a really good veteran group and really 3 leaders in the room.